Hello, friends. Once again, I welcome you all to this virtual learning online platform. Presently, we are dealing with Thirukural, chapter number 81, titled as Rapport. Friends, yesterday we talked about the kind of mutual understanding which is desperately required between the two friends. Woluwer calls it rapport, and he suggests that there should not be any hesitation in the mind of a friend. If at all the friend is doing some action, the friend does that action because the other friend has already given him the full freedom and liberty to do anything for a friend. So friendship and liberty both are inseparable parts and parcel of life. Woluwer also says that without the complete freedom, the relationship called friendship is useless. And the part that we are going to deal with today, Woluwer talks about the value of friendship. Woluwer talks about the kind of harmful act, if at all a friend does. He feels that it should never harm the friendship. And when he talked about the word rapport, according to him, it is a friendly, harmonious relationship, especially a relationship characterized by agreement, mutual understanding, or empathy that makes communication possible and easy for both the friends. When you break up that rapport, you have communicated that you don't have your friend's best interest at heart. And when it happens, mind it well, you lose your ability to keep his or her attention or to influence his or her thinking. So always avoid these rapport breakers in friendship. So let us look at the remaining part of this chapter 81, titled as Rapport, written by Thiru Woluwer. And I hope you have been enjoying a series on Thirukural with a special focus on friendship. So let us look at the remaining part here. According to Woluwer, friends should always have a better understanding and a mutual understanding between the two. Second, you should give liberty to your friend. And based on that liberty or freedom that you give, he feels at ease to do something good for the both. And if at all the friend could not do so, the another friend should never object whatever action is being done or taken by the friend. Because the intimate relationship which is developed between the two is the solid foundation of their relationship throughout. Now you see how Woluwer is going to proceed with the same idea in the subsequent part. Discern it not merely as ignorance, but as a sign of intimacy. You know, while living our life, ups and downs are inevitable. That's why Wellver says, discern it not merely as ignorance. What do you mean by discern? It means to know or recognize or understand something, especially something that is not obvious. It also means to see or to hear something, but not very clear. That's why the poet says, discern it not merely as ignorance, but as a sign of intimacy. Mind it well. When a friend is doing something for the another friend or for the self, since they have a very good mutual understanding between the two, they have vote of trust for each other, and whatever action, whatever task is being performed by a friend, and if at all, it is wrong sometimes, the another friend should never, really object it. Moreover, he can sometimes ignore it. This sort of action done by a friend shows as the sign of intimacy. See here, if at all something happens in ignorance, right, you can simply just leave it as it is. Because there is a lack of knowledge or information about something when you do, and if at all you are on the loser side, you should not be blamed for that. Because you have done something just out of the ignorance that you had. But here, Wellver says, it is a sign of intimacy. Already I explained you the meaning of intimacy yesterday. Intimacy is the state of having a close personal relationship with somebody. Since you are the friends, you have the vote of trust for each other. You are loyal to each other. You are honest to each other. And that's why there is a bond between the two, and that bond is called friendship. When a friend does an undesired act that hurts, sometimes it is possible that your friend does some sort of undesired act, and that may hurt you sometimes. But it doesn't mean that you should really get disconnected with your friend, or else to stop your rapport with him. You should never do that. If at all it happened in ignorance, you should forgive, you should forget, and you should ignore also. A friend who has stood by all the times, even when he causes harm, those who know the expanse of friendship will never let go. See, this couplet is giving us a very good advice. You have a friend. Till date, all the times, he was always standing with you. He was on your side. He did everything in your favor. But unfortunately, something undesirable happened. Something went against you. Doesn't mean that you should blame him. There are ample number of causes that may harm you, that may hurt you, that may disturb you. But if your friendship is true and it has a solid bond, I think no one can really separate you from each other. And the people, those who know the value of friendship, those who know the real importance of friendship, those who accept the wideness and the openness of friendship, that you call the expanse of friendship, you will never put any effort that will, damage your friendship as such. So the poet says, a friend who has stood by you at all times, even when he causes harm, those who know the expanse of friendship will never let go. So those who know the expanse of friendship, because the kind of whiteness, the kind of openness, you should always give your friend as your friend. And unless you give that space, there won't be any solid foundation of friendship. In friendship, built on love, no love is lessened. Mind it well. If your friendship is true, if your friendship has the foundation, which is really a very solid one, if your friendship is having the principle of intimacy for each other, if your friendship is built on the principle of love, then mind it well, no love is lessened because of all these things which are happening in your life. Because it is the bond of friendship that you have between the two that will never get separated, that will never get destroyed. And that's why Valluvar says, in friendships built on love, no love is lessened, even when one does a destructive deed. Sometimes it happens. When we live our life, our friends sometimes go wrong. And if at all your friend has gone wrong, he did some destructive act, I think for the sake of friendship, you should really forgive and forget him. But you should never forget your friend. You should never forget your friendship. Friendship should continue because that has a solid bond of relationship. For one who brooks on charges against an intimate friend, the day is made when the friend errs. Mind it well. According to Valluvar, for one who brooks no charges, right, against an intimate friend. But now my question is, if at all something went wrong in the course of your friendship, maybe one of the friends has done something wrong, does it mean that we should punish him? Or the other friend should punish him? No. We are not, supposed to charge anything against him. Since you are the good friends, best friends, intimate friends, you have a very good rapport between you, then this sort of misunderstanding or something went wrong, that should never create any problem in the course of your friendship. But just for example, you consider that your friend errs. Your friend errs means your friend has committed a mistake. Never point out the mistake. Never charge him for that particular committed mistake. Never blame him. Generally, what happens in the society? If at all something goes wrong, hundreds and hundreds of voices will start talking against you. But if at all you are an intimate friend, you will never do that. Moreover, you will try to find out the basic reason behind it. Instead of blaming your friend, you will start finding the facts, and then you will have a proper communication, proper discussion, proper rapport about the topic, so that your friendship will never be harmed at all. Friends with resolute rapport. See here, in the subsequent couplet, Valluvar says, friends with resolute rapport. What do you mean by resolute? Resolute rapport, it means a kind of rapport that has great determination. If your friendship is true, if your friendship is intimate friendship, then of course your rapport or the kind of communication between the two or the kind of mutual understanding between the two is really, very, very solid, that no one can ever create any disturbance. If your rapport has a great determination, it will never let it rupture, even if the world wills it. There are many people, those who try to create misunderstanding between the friends or among the friends, right? They try to make some injury to your friendship. They try to create such a situation that you come to a breakup. But mind it well, if your friendship is true, if you have a great determination for your rapport and for your friendship, nobody else can ever destroy your friendship. Friends with resolute rapport, again you see, Walluvor repeats the word resolute rapport. Already I told you. Resolute rapport means the kind of great determination that you have for the sake of your mutual understanding, and Walluvor calls it resolute rapport. Will never let it rupture, and the world values it. See, many people will try to disturb you and create a breakup between you. But if your resolute rapport or if your resolute friendship is there, which is based on love and intimacy, nobody can ever create a breakup between the two. But moreover, the world will start giving you importance. The world will start giving you much more value because your friendship is true, because you have a very good rapport, because you are the intimate friends, and automatically your friendship, your identity becomes very positive, especially in the minds of the people around there in the world. And towards the end of this Quran, chapter number 81, rapport, Walluvor says, when on no account one parts with an intimate friend, they shall be loved even by those who loathe them. See how effectively the poet is trying to give us an advice. He moves one step ahead and writes that those who know the value of friendship ignore the harmful act of a friend. Similarly, he says, such relations are based on love, and that's why they are strong, and the entire world can't break it up. Rather, the enemy and the rest of the world will definitely value it. So automatically it goes to your credit. Automatically it goes to your account. Because as an individual and as a pair, if at all you are the friends or two friends, your intimacy, your bond of love, your bond of friendship, your loyalty, your sense of honesty, your mutual understanding, everything is basically responsible for an individual to be an intimate friend. So, of course, they shall be loved by the rest of the people over there in the world, and even by those who loathe them. L-O-A-T-H. It means those who dislike you, they will also start liking you because your foundation of friendship is solid. Because you are the intimate friends. Because your relationship is based on love. So this is how Valuer has very lucidly gave us an advice that if at all you want to really maintain a good relationship, especially friendship, unless you have a very good rapport, unless you have a very good mutual understanding between the two, the relationship will never go long. So if you want to make a permanent relationship, your foundation should be solid, your rapport should be very good, your friendship should have the principle of love and intimacy for each other. Then only the things will move on in the right direction. If at all the whole world is trying to create a breakup between the two, it will never happen if your resolute rapport is observed by the rest of the world. Automatically, your rivals, your enemies, your opponents, or the people, those who dislike you, they will also start appreciating your friendship and you as well. This is how this chapter number 81, titled as a rapport, comes to an end. Thank you very much.